Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. On this video, I will be driving through the downtown area of Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you people. It's been some time since I've driven through downtown Indianapolis. I mean, like I told you guys before, I'm not a city person. So anything that I can do to avoid areas of heavy traffic, such as downtown Indianapolis, I avoid. So for that reason, I typically do not come to downtown Indianapolis. But for the purpose of me making this video, for those of you that might want to relocate to Indianapolis, that might be into the downtown inner city life, that is the sole reason why I'm currently here in downtown Indianapolis. And the second I cut off this camera and get done doing this video, this is going to probably be the last time that I will be in downtown Indianapolis, unless I gotta be down here for any other reason that I feel is of any type of significance. But like I told you guys before, I'm not a city person. I hate traffic. I hate traffic. I hate big crowds of people. I can't stand it. But for all you wonderful subscribers and viewers, I will do this video so you guys get a taste of downtown Indianapolis. And I'm going to try to drive through as many parts of downtown as I can. I'm going to try to not miss anything. Now, for those of you that don't know about Indianapolis, the nickname for Indianapolis is Circle City. And the other nickname is Naptown. Now, the reason why they call Indianapolis Circle City is because if you look at a map of Indiana and you look at the map of greater Indianapolis, this city is literally shaped like a circle. So that's why one of the nicknames of this city is Circle City. Now, here in downtown Indianapolis, of course, we have the Indianapolis Colts, the football team. And we have the Canal, which is here in downtown. And downtown Indianapolis, like right around this area, you also have the historic district, where basically you got a bunch of old houses that have been renovated, and that particular community has also been gentrified, the nasty G word that a lot of people hate, which at some point I will do a separate video of the Indianapolis Historic District. Now, here in downtown Indianapolis, you have quite a few one-way only streets. So if you come here to Indianapolis for the Colts game, or you want to make Indianapolis your new place of residence, be mindful that there's a lot of one-way only signs. I mean, if you're not careful, you can easily find yourself going the wrong way and get into a bad accident. Now, again, I'm shooting this video on a weekend, so the traffic that you see does not resemble the traffic that you're going to see during the week. The traffic you see around here during the week is going to be much more. The people that you see out here out and about walking will also be much more. But today, being a weekend day, that's the only reason why you don't see as much traffic or as many people out and about walking as you normally would during the weekday. So don't think that Indianapolis is some Rust Belt, ain't got nothing going for itself city, because quite frankly, it's quite the opposite. I mean, Indianapolis, for the right person with the right money, Indianapolis is a wonderful city. Is it perfect? No. Entertainment-wise, is it going to be Las Vegas or something like that? No. But for the right person, Indianapolis is a wonderful city. And just so y'all can see downtown a little better, I'm going to readjust the camera here. Yeah. And given that this is football season, there's going to be weekends where the traffic here is going to be unbearable due to there being a game. So I thought I'll just come down here today and do this downtown Indianapolis video. I mean, downtown Indianapolis, in my opinion, is a fairly good sized downtown. Right now, I'm on Michigan streets. And as soon as this light changes, I will be crossing over Indiana Avenue. And also here in downtown Indianapolis, you will find the Circle City Mall. which the Circle City Mall is right above the canal. So for those of you that like to shop, there's the Circle City Mall down here. Now, for those of you that don't drive and you're relying on public transportation, despite how big of a city Indianapolis is, I would rate the public transportation here mediocre at best. So my suggestion to you is, if you're looking to make Indianapolis your new home, my suggestion would be to own a vehicle. I mean, because if you move here and you do not own a vehicle, then if you have to rely on public transportation, I mean, yes, Indianapolis does have it, as you guys saw a second ago with that bus. However, the public transportation here in Indianapolis is not going to be as good as the public transportation services in other cities. Like, for an example, if you were to go to Cleveland, Ohio, which at this point is about a third of the size of Indianapolis, Cleveland, Ohio has got a way better public transportation system than Indianapolis does. Like, if you go to Cleveland, they got the bus, and they also have a train that goes around Cuyahoga County, which they call it the Rapid. If you were to go to Nashville, Tennessee, which Nashville is about the same. Nashville is a little smaller than Indianapolis. However, if you go to Nashville, I would say several years ago, Nashville built a train system, which they call it the Star, which the Star basically will circle Davidson County, which is the county that Nashville is in. It'll circle Davidson County. And I believe it goes into Williamson County and maybe one or two other counties down there. But here in Indianapolis, if you don't own a vehicle, you're going to be doing a lot of waiting around for the bus. And here in Indianapolis, there is no train. So if you're going to rely on public transportation here in Indianapolis, like I said, the public transportation here is subpar. I mean, it's mediocre at best. I guess if you come from an area that's got better public transportation, you would consider the public transportation here in Indianapolis subpar. But I would say, at the very best, the public transportation here in Indianapolis is mediocre. So yeah, definitely, if you're gonna move to Indianapolis, I would suggest that you go out here. If you don't already own a car, I would suggest you go out and buy you a car, because it's gonna make your life here in Indianapolis a lot easier. Now, this building right here that y'all just saw is the hospital. It's the University of Indiana Cancer Hospital. That's where they deal with all the cancer patients. And also back there, you also saw the school for nursing for the IU campus. So that's one of the many colleges that you will find here in Indianapolis. In fact, all this that you're looking at right now is going to be the IU campus, which is right here in downtown Indianapolis. And I'm getting ready to drive down University Boulevard. Now, I am not a native of Indianapolis or even a native of Indiana, but from what I've heard by some of my friends who are natives of Indiana and know Indianapolis or used to live in Indianapolis at some point, I guess back in the early 90s, or maybe back in the 80s, in downtown Indianapolis used to be an area where most people that knew Indianapolis knew not to hang around in. So I guess the downtown area of Indianapolis used to be considered a relatively dangerous part of the city. I mean, this used to be the area that many people used to avoid coming around because it was so dangerous, and apparently a lot of these streets were crime infested. And I guess somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s, many of these areas were redeveloped and many of the close by communities were gentrified. And like I said, once I go and I do a little bit more research about the historic district of Indianapolis, I will be coming back here to Indianapolis to do a video of the historic district. Now, just a second ago, I drove over the White River. Which is where the canal is located. I drove over the canal, because right below here is the canal. I think that's the White River. I get the names mixed up every so often. Now, for those of you that are not from Indianapolis and you want to come down here to hang out and do some walking around, do some sightseeing or whatnot, I mean, there has been several times in recent years to where people have came down here and been robbed. I mean, I've read several articles over the last year or two to where people have came down here and been robbed and bad things have happened to people around here. So if you come downtown to Indianapolis for any reason, you know, just exercise street smarts, utilize common sense, and be mindful of your surroundings. And for those of you that legally carry a weapon, it definitely wouldn't hurt to have that weapon handy. If you're coming down here to downtown Indianapolis, I mean, I guess the Colts game's today. I mean, I don't really follow sports. So I don't know when the Colts play, when they don't play. I'm not a sport person. I don't follow sports, but I can tell today that later on there's going to be the game. So in a little bit here, the traffic here is going to be insane. I mean, it's already noon. The game is going to most likely start around 1 o'clock or so. And I can already tell that I'm going to most likely have to do a part 2 of this video. Yeah, today's our home game for the Colts. For those of you that are into sports. Obviously, by the time I post this video, the game is going to be long over. Because after this video, I have to run out and do some more videos. So by the time I post it, the game is going to be long over. Yeah, right now I'm on Washington Street and I'm getting ready to turn on West Avenue. Alright folks, this video is getting close to where I'm gonna have to end it. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a part 2 of downtown Indianapolis. So stay tuned for that video.